Bosnia is a small country in the Balkans, and more than 5 centuries or around 6 centuries ago, Islam came to Bosnia. This is the town of Jajce. It's the medieval capital of Bosnia, and in 1463, Islam came with Ottomans when they completed the conquest of Bosnia and executing the last king, Stjepan Tomašević, in Jajce, and ending actually the medieval Bosnian kingdom. Bosnia was always considered a land of heresy. We have in our history records of many papal delegations sent to Bosnia in order to drive Bosnians back to Christianity from their own church. We had actually Bosnian church. Confessio or abjuration was signed at Biljno Polje. That's the town I'm born in. I live now in Sarajevo, but this was in our history the most important document signed in front of a delegation from Vatican, by which seven of the priests of that church reiterated that they are returning back to Christianity. We will not go further into this Ottoman era with details about how things went through. We want to say that Islam in Bosnia is not a small tradition. It is not Islam from periphery, nor it is some kind of heterodox Islam. So-called great and small traditions, if we follow the historians of religious traditions, often intertwine and shape one another. What we have in Bosnia is a dynamic connection between Hanafi Islam and local adjustment. That Hanafi Islam was not that pure Hanafi Islam brought to, but already transformed in a way by Ottomans, reshaped. Local adjustment, as I said before, we had already this specific church. It was neither Orthodox nor Catholic. That church, the adherents of that church had very similar, they didn't believe in Jesus as God, they didn't eat pork, they were very similar and close to Islamic ideals. This is početak. We say in Bosnia, početak, the beginning of Bosnia from the south. What has, in these 6 centuries of our Islam in Bosnia, what is the most important feature of our region? Sarajevo had the highest Islamic school already in 1537, less than 1 century after Ottoman conquest. It was not just regular madrasa. It was among Ottoman madrasas at the highest level of madrasas, like today's faculty or university. So Islam was not just copied into local ambience, it experienced one positive transformation. This also is a feature of Ottoman Empire. It enabled it to be more dynamic than other counterparts of its time. Not to mention metropolitan cities were centers of intellectual development but also at the province. For example, let me just give you 3 of Sheikhul Islams came to Bosnia. Hundreds of high-ranking officials at the Porta in Istanbul were Bosnian by birth. spiritual center of Bosnia is Sarajevo, and with 3 institutions that were built by Gazi Husrev Bey. He was a grandson of Sultan Suleiman. No, Sultan Bayezid, sorry. But he ruled during the rule of Suleiman the Magnificent. Gazi Husrev Bey Madrasa, before that Gazi Husrev Bey Mosque, you have seen that at the center of Sarajevo, Old Town. And by that mosque on the side, he established Gazi Husrev Bey Library. If some of you follow the development, for example, Oxford or Cambridge, actually we can talk about development of these universities after they had established library. This year, 2017, is 480 years of continuous work of these institutions. I'm a graduate of Gazi Husrev Bey Madrasa, and we are proud that our school never stopped to work. Even during war, I was from Zenica, I was born in Zenica, and we entered to Sarajevo to continue our work, our schooling full time. And we were holding lectures, and we had a school during the siege of Sarajevo, and that was normal. We were invited to bring the spirits of Sarajevo to help citizens of Sarajevo survive the siege and grenades, etc. This is actually the look from my office. I work here. This is the old madrasa. We call it Kurşunlu madrasa because of the roofs from Kurşun, from Turkish. Gazi Husrev Bey Mosque. This is the front view of old madrasa, and this is the new building of library of Gazi Husrev Bey. We can go on. Islam in Bosnia does not need to be romanticized. Of course, we don't want to present it as something unique and unrepeatable. It needs to be viewed as a product of that dynamic exchange between wider imperial principles of Ottoman Empire and local domestic sensibilities. It was enriched by the domestic oral tradition of our people, highly intellectual people we had during these 6 centuries, creative and professional achievements from the Balkans. I told you about the officials of empire. Grand Vizier, the most influential Grand Vizier, Mehmed Pasha Sokolovic, was born in Bosnia. In Islam, our loyalty to Bosnia as land and our language. Although subject to Ottomans more than 4 centuries, we never transformed into ethnic Turks, even though sometimes we were labeled as Turks. For example, when Ratko Mladic entered Srebrenica, he said, when he committed, this is the old pictures from Sarajevo, when we also find it unacceptable that Islam is geographically biased, that only people from Asia, Middle East, Africa are considered Muslims. We claim that Islam is indigenous European rooted religion. Why? Because we have 7 centuries of existence of Islam in Spain and 5 or 6 centuries here in Bosnia. If some historians would argue, it is in some cases more than Christianity and Judaism. We claim that this institutionalized Islam is what actually saved Islam in our region. We have institutions, we have our scholars, 3 faculties of Islamic studies, 7 madrasas. We have muftis, every region has mufti, and we have grand mufti. This institutionalized Islam can be, and let's just shortly about what's written. We think that we cannot give this model to be copied to any other place. As we claim that Bosnian Islam was not copied, we think that we can give a pattern to follow in establishing European models, not just one, because Islam in Britain cannot be the same like Islam in Germany, France, and Austria. Every surrounding has its own uniqueness, and we think that Muslims should follow our example because we have historical evidence that survived. Thank you very much.